All right, so happy Friday, happy weekend, and let's get into it for focus list for Monday and trades today. So, Twitter coming in today was max long, and for no justification, but a lot of people were just like max long yesterday. 1 hour into market open, everyone's like acting the world like the world's ending. My Twitter, like everyone, not even just my Twitter, just like groups, everyone's max bearish, and then the market just consolidates the rest of the day. And I actually thought today was very constructive. Maybe contrary to a lot of people. Now, the reality is we're still chopping around, right? This isn't a candle that says we're breaking out. IWM, different story. We made new highs. RSP just went sideways. But underlying action was very constructive, and because the reason why is not because of this end of day chop, but during this sell-off, a lot of stocks were holding up very well, exceptionally well. And I made a comment in my Discord, and I was like, I said, yeah, stocks are holding exceptionally well compared to the indexes. Makes me kind of think if the indexes bounce, stocks will rip a lot higher. And that was at 11.14. So that was quite literally the bottom. So that was right here. And like stocks, like, so after this big sell-off, stocks like were fine. Like they didn't really go down that much. Like you had 11.15, METC was already back to new highs. A lot of stocks on my need more sideways list had just been consolidating. Like look, you have VSAT right here, not doing anything today really. You had ONDS kind of just chilling, just putting in sideways. Like a lot of these stocks are just setting up. UUU didn't really sell off at all. So Cypher just setting up. Like a lot of like good looking stocks are just setting up. Like they're not doing anything wrong. And it was a pretty steep sell-off. I would have expected stocks to be down and momentum just to be gone. Like I would not have expected this much green, but that wasn't the case. So I thought today's action was extremely constructive, and if we can break out of this space, it is possible we get another leg up because there are stocks setting up, and stocks are refusing to go down despite index action. And it wasn't like it was just the QQQ that sold off. I mean, the IWM had a pretty steep sell-off as well, right? But this, this one bounced even better than QQQ. Closed up on the day 0.5%. So I thought today was very constructive. I did buy Reddit again today, and I got stopped out again, and it closed at high. So this pulled an A-Lab on me, unfortunately. So, I mean, again, I bought right around this 5-minute high. As soon as it hit the 5-minute high, it literally just dumped and then stopped me out. So that's pretty much max fuckery price action. You get that big volume spike, 5-minute opening range high, and takes me out, stops out, and then recovers in today. And, there's a lot of people that say you should switch entry tactics, and maybe that is true. But like the reality is there going to be good entry tactics for different market cycles, and like the market's going to reward different styles, and so it would be very jack of all trades, master of none, right? It would be very stupid, and it not just necessarily stupid. It just wouldn't be to my full benefit, in my opinion. And maybe I'm wrong, and like in a year or two I'll like change, but as I'm thinking right now, to switch my entry tactics, and then, because what could happen is, okay, sure, I switch to a pullback type style where I wait an hour maybe to like buy stocks, or I wait till the close to buy stocks. And so that's great when this is happening, but what happens whenever the market goes back to rewarding my style of opening range break? What happens when stocks, that first 5 minutes, that's the lowest price you could have gotten in for the day, and the stock rips 4, 5, 6R, and you have no other entry. You're waiting an hour for an entry, and it never comes. So That's why I don't want to change my entry tactics, because I know eventually the market is going to reward my style, and it did in 2024. From August to December, I made a ton of money, and my entry tactics were rewarded. It was just a breakout market. If you waited for a pullback on stocks, you didn't get it. You didn't get in stock. You missed stuff. You just would have missed stuff. And so I'm not going to change my tactics based on my style not being the best right now. Because, I was watching a Mark Ritchie podcast yesterday, and he was like, there are times where styles are going to outperform other styles. And most people, they jump from style to style, and they never get anything to stick because they're constantly bouncing around. So you have to stick to your style, understand if it's conductive or not, and if it's not conductive, then you size down. If it is conductive, then you're going to make a lot of money. And so I'm comfortable with having these fake outs like on Reddit today and A-Lab yesterday. I'm okay with that because when my style does work, it works very, very good, and you can make a lot of money very quickly. And so that's just kind of like my consensus with that. And if you do switch styles, if you're able to do that, great. I can't. I don't want to. I want to have one entry tactic, and I want to make it work, and I want to be great at it. That's all I want to do. I want to have one breakout setup, one entry tactic, and I want to make 10 plus mil with that. And that's my goal. You look at Qualamagi, I mean, his style was opening range break, right? That's what he preached. That's what I'm going to do. And of course, he did other stuff as well, but he was mainly an opening range breakout trader. So that is what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to stick to, regardless if the environment is rewarding me or not rewarding me. Eventually, it will reward me, and I'm going to make money. So that's it with that. So I did get stopped on Reddit. I have my AEHR still. I'm chilling the 10 on this. This was not. I bought this obviously 25th. Iron. I'm just chilling the 10 on this. I've had this for a while as well. XNet. I actually added XNet. I added 2 XNet today. So I had it. My first buy was on the 3rd of September, and then I feel like I'm loud. Let me like relax. September 3rd, I took my first buy, and now it's day 3, so I did move my stop loss to break even on that buy. However, there was an inside day setup, and like just a little kind of flag pattern, a subtle little flag pattern, and because of that, I did add to my position. So I basically put back on my initial risk. So I have 2 positions for the risk of 1, because my first position, which I bought at 744, is risk-free. So all I'm risking is my second position, which I bought today at 765, which was the close. So I ended the day break even on this for my second buy. That's what I'm in. That's I've got a little bit. I've got a decent sized position on this, and so if it really goes, hopefully, fingers crossed. We did break the 780 area, so I'm hoping we can get some follow through on a breakout above $8, and then I can move. I can have both stops break even, just trail this thing. That would be great. I would love to do that. But yeah, so I added to this, and I just have a little bit of risk on this. Met C, so I moved my stop to break even on this. Unfortunately, I took like a 10th size yesterday, so I did 0.25% on Reddit, and then I did 0.25% on Ethereum, and then I did 0.10% in METC. Well, of course, METC is the only one that's stuck, and it has the smallest size, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I was going to add to it this morning on the 5-minute opening range break, but because of all the weakness, I wasn't totally sure about that, and obviously it would have worked pretty well, but hindsight. And like the power buy was the 4th of September, so I didn't really want to, buy it again and mess up my average without a true, like really good setup. But that followed through, so that's a good sign. And then I also bought this LWLG. I bought this at 3:30, so I mean this thing just like ripped to start the day. I didn't even get a chance to. So the 1 minute chart, it like just absolutely ripped ass, and I was buying XNet and I was buying Reddit, so I missed the 1 minute opening range break. So it made a huge move in the first 4 minutes of the day. It made a 12% move. Then it pulled back, and then I just put a buy order on the pullback at 3:30. It was just a random level. No really rhyme or reason to it, but I just thought it was a decent spot. Now, if I waited, I probably could have gotten a better price, but I felt like that was the best spot to try to grab it at. So I did buy some of this, and it ended up just kind of going sideways the whole day. It's not doing anything wrong, but it's not really doing anything right either, besides now it's gapping down post market. It's not good. Set an alert just in case, because these small caps you just never know. But well, it closed below my average, so I guess I did that wrong. But overall, it held today's low, so we'll see what happens tomorrow or Monday. You either get a inside candle or some follow through to the upside. I think it's a good setup regardless. You know, this kind of reminds me of Sim. When Sim went, this thing had this little momentum burst right here. Just 3 days, it made a 34% move up, and then pulled back, inside candle, closed near the lows, but then gapped up, took out the high of the inside day, and then just made a monstrous over 10-hour move. You know, this thing didn't close under the 10 until it was up 50%. So, you know, I would love that if that happened. Focus list for Monday. So that's all my positions. Focus list for Monday. This UUU, I think it looks great. A lot of people watching it today. I didn't really see a setup on it today, and luckily it didn't trigger today. But now you have this inside week. You have this HVC level. You have this kind of tightness. Like I kind of see like the little flag. It's not the best daily setup, but the weekly looks good and it is tight. You kind of have like a little flag, higher lows, lower highs. The volume was really dead. So over this inside week, like you clearly have some resistance right here. Like that's a clear level, and I will buy some. I'll definitely grab some. Very linear stock. I mean, this thing made a 62% move in 2, 3, 4, 5 days. 62% in 5 days, and now it's just flagged. It's pulled into this 10 moving average. It made a huge move over here. This was 73%. I was stalking it all throughout here. Then it went lower, come back, and now it's flagging again. So I'm not going to take it off my watch list. 980R, $100 million volume. This is a good one to keep an eye on, and definitely I'm going to grab some if it takes out the inside week high, because the risk reward is certainly there. And hopefully it just opens flat and it gives a super tight stop, maybe like 1 or 2%. That'd be great. Wolf. So this looks really good. And these are my only 2 watches, so I only have 2 watches for Monday. But I think both are high quality setups though. So you have this lots of lower highs, and then you have these higher lows. And look how dead the volume's gotten. This is the lowest volume day in this little consolidation here. It's just pulled into this 10, and now you have a thin candle again on low volume, very tight, higher lows, lower highs. This looks really good in my opinion. Like from the gap up day, it made a 58% move in 3 days, and then if you're measuring it from the lows before the gap, 103% in 4 days. So this looks really good. This is like a true EP kind of setup. You notice how it's just flagged at these prior levels, and you don't know how high this could go. This could go all the way up back to 40. Huge volume, good report. This is a good setup. It's a great setup. 980R, $300 million volume. These are the ones you really want to catch. So I think UUU and Wolf, if the market allows for it, these are very high quality setups and good setups with high risk to reward. And I would love to take both of them if they allow for it. Now, I don't know why my fucking LWLG is gapping down right now. That's pretty annoying. That's all I got for today. So that's all I got for Monday. So yeah, so constructive day. Lots of really just sideways. But if we continue to push higher, I'm not going to fight the trend. You know, gold looks good. Ethereum's just flagging. Bitcoin is, you know, trying to reverse higher. There's nothing wrong yet, so I'm not going to get concerned about anything. And I'm just taking it day by day. So that's all I got.